guys, karibuni sana. This is Real and Raw, and my name is Stella, Kareo and Esther. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. And I have a lovely lady right here.
Hey guys, my name is Esther, Wanja.
Yes.
And always an honor to be here.
Woo! So I hope you guys enjoyed our previous topic. And just like the other one, we'll ask you to please comments in the upper below. And if you're new and this is your very first time to be on this channel, welcome. Karibu sana, please subscribe. Bam!
Yeah.
Right there. Na kama wewe ni family kama kawaida, karibu sana. Thank you so much. Mob love, guys.
Yep.
So today we're going to be talking about develop yourself fast. Wewe mwenyewe. Si watu wengine, please. Wewe mwenyewe.
Keyword, yourself
first.
Right.
And actually, Esther, the reason why I really wanted us to talk about this is that I see a lot of you get a lot of like university students, guys, wameingia tu kampo.
Yeah.
They're in their early 20s. They're very excited about life, but instead of developing themselves, they get distracted by relationships, masponyo wako hapa, yani things that are not jengaing them as a person.
Or even, what's the word?
Kushuhereria mtu mwingine. Yeah, you
banking on other people.
Yeah, you start banking
for
on
your development.
People. Exactly. You can't do that. And literally your 20s are the place where you find yourself.
Right.
Like you get to know your identity, your purpose, why you're here on earth.
Yeah.
So I really felt that it's really, really important. Instead of kwenda tu kampo ulafu nenda unafanya vitu zako.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're 4 years or whatever amount of years end, you're still at square one.
Right.
All that has gone to a waste. Why? You know?
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I thought it's important for us to develop ourselves. And if that mark has petered you, let me tell you, you can always start now. You know? Yeah, you can always
start.
Plus,
it can never really peter you because you never fully arrive at saying at enough.
I'm developed. Yeah.
You're always constantly developing yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So what are some of the steps for developing yourself? Yeah.
So one of the steps that I think is very important is identity.
Right.
And purpose.
Okay.
Those two things.
Okay.
Identity, wewe ni nani? Whose are you? Where do you come from? And not where you come from, your family,
right. County 00.
No. No, like your source. And I believe God is our source.
God is our source.
Yeah, we are his children and he is our God.
Right.
So we come from God and that is where your identity stems from.
Right.
And sometimes if you don't have that as your anchor, you end up getting distracted by so many pitfalls. So social media, culture, whatever culture goes, you're also going with it because your identity is pegged on, what is happening at that particular time. You know, instead of being pegged on Christ.
Yeah, and the danger of having your identity pegged on everything else that's not Christ is that everything else is sinking sand.
Right.
And it's constantly moving and constantly evolving. And so as much as, yes, we are to develop ourselves and always constantly evolve, the one thing that will never change is Christ, our source, the values that we get from him.
Yeah.
He is our everything and he is the rock. On Christ, the solid rock. Yeah. We stand.
We stand. Hallelujah.
How can someone identify their purpose and what does that look like? Because it looks like one huge, when you say identity and purpose, you're like, okay, Stella. What is that?
So, like we've said, identity is whose you are. But purpose is now like the thing that God has put you on earth to do, right? And sometimes we get confused, and even I've also been there getting confused in, is what I'm good at my purpose, or is it something that I have to be passionate about? Those are actually one of the signs of what you're supposed to do.
Right.
I mean, you have to enjoy what you're supposed to do. Come on now.
Yep. Come on now.
Yeah, you need to enjoy it, and it's something that I think it's Esther said it a while back. It's something that you need to do for free. Okay, ambiwa by there, do this thing for free. I'm going to do it for free. Those are one of your indications that is your purpose. But also, one of the main things that you should do is ask God what your purpose is. He's the only person who can actually tell you
what it is.
What he your personality, how you are made.
Yeah.
God put all those things into account.
Right.
Yeah, as in where you were born, the continent you're from, the city. All of those things make who you are. And the only person who actually knows the clear, correct answer is God.
Yeah, and you always have to go back to him.
Yeah.
You can't go to your family, you can't rely on the culture.
Yeah.
You only have to rely on the one who created you, because he knows what he put in you and for what reason he created you for.
Yeah.
So you can't rely on Stella or myself to tell you what your purpose is, because we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know why you have the interest you have. We don't know why you were born where you were born.
Yeah.
But there's someone who does.
Yeah.
And he's factored all those things and made sure that you are uniquely designed the way you are for the purpose that he would create you for.
Yeah.
So
that's
always
good.
go
That's
back
good.
to him.
Yeah. Very nice. There's actually a very interesting illustration Esther had. Are you going to tell them?
I'm gonna tell them, but I'm sorry. Like I feel like I should apologize, because we've had of this illustration for such a long time.
Yeah.
And it's basically, I'm an Android user.
Yeah.
We're Android users. If your iPhone, we forgive you just because you're watching this. But
Yeah.
we know who's king.
Yeah.
Anyway, if I have a problem with my phone, I won't go to an iPhone store and tell them, hey, Skiza, I'm having an issue. Look at me like,
what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? This is not, we don't know anything about the features.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we haven't made it.
Yeah.
And just in the same way that we should always go back to Christ. We shouldn't rely and go onto other people to tell us what was put in us, because they don't know. Yes. So we always have to center and reel ourselves back in and go back to Christ and ask, okay, God, I have this interest, or what is it that you put me on earth for? Then that way you're able to know how you can start developing yourself from the point of knowing who you are.
Yeah.
So it's a place of saying, okay, now I know who I am.
Yeah.
Or I've gone to God to tell me who I am.
Yeah.
And then what? What comes next?
That's awesome. And it even says in Psalms that he knew you before you were knit in your mother's womb,
Right.
even before the foundations of the world.
earth, yeah.
So, I mean, God is the only person who really knows, who truly knows who you are.
Who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So always go back to him. So number one, we said is identify.
Yeah.
Your identity.
Yeah.
And your purpose.
Yeah.
And you can only know that by going back to the source.
Yeah.
And then after that,
There is work. Now the work, the assignment, or your passion. Now that thing, what is that thing? Either you're a musician, or you're a creative, or you love spending time with people, or caring for people, or things
what
like that.
are you good at?
What are you
What
good
are
at?
you good at? What do you love doing? And she said, what is it that when someone wakes you up in the middle of the night and tells you, hey, say, I need to do this.
Yeah.
You'll do it effortlessly.
Yeah.
Without, there's some things, like Stella can do the runs. Mimi, I'll have to struggle and practice for those runs. But she'll do it so effortlessly. So if I come and start saying, Amy, I think God has called me to be a worship leader in Africa. I'm lying to myself.
Yeah.
I can sing, but I cannot, it's not something that just comes. I'll have to struggle. And that doesn't mean, also, disclaimer, that just because Stella can do the runs, she shouldn't have to work at it. Just because God has gifted you doesn't mean you have to be a good steward of the gift.
Exactly.
You have to constantly work at that gift and constantly work at making sure that you are either perfecting the gift or just giving it better than he gave it to you. Not just relying on, okay, God gave me a good base, I don't need to practice, I don't need to do this.
You're just there.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you. But also another thing that I really believe that we need to do is that, let's say, for example, you've been called to be a teacher. Yeah,
right.
You love teaching, you love interacting with people. But now you see the thing is that teaching is so wide. So you need to know exactly, am I supposed to teach children?
Right.
Am I supposed to teach university students?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to teach maybe even other professors?
Yeah.
In that capacity, you need to know the capacity that God has given you.
Yeah.
Whether it's in whatever field that you're in, you need to know your capacity. That's like, it will be much easier for you, because it will be very sad if, for example, God has given you, like you're a teacher, but now you go and teach kids, and yet you had been called to do something completely different, but still in the area of teaching. That's
so interesting you said that, because yesterday I started a new book, and it was basically saying that, you know how we say that God, at Judgment Day, God will judge us and open the books. God is not going to judge you according to what you did. It's according to the measure that you are given.
Whoa, yes.
So it's not, Stella washed the chairs in church, she sang, she attended all the services.
Yeah.
The question is, God gave her, let's say, her 5 talents. What did she do with her 5 talents? Not what did she do for other. You can be so busy doing other things, like Stella said, teaching and doing all these good things.
Yeah.
And God didn't call you to that.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to go back to God and ask Him, what did you put in me?
Yeah.
How can I be a faithful steward over what you've given me? Because God is not going to micromanage you, by the way.
Never.
Never. Hey, Stella, remember you said, because then you wouldn't be a steward. So you need to manage what He has given you and be faithful with the measure that He's given you. So if it's teaching children, you teach them well. Whether Stella is teaching university students,
yes.
My job is not to compare myself and develop
somebody else
to her level. It's developing myself in accordance to what God has given me and what measure He's given me. And also, don't develop yourself because your friends are not developing themselves or they are. You develop yourself because you want to, or because you want to grow. You're being faithful with what God has given you, not because I see now my friends are not doing anything, or why do I have to do this? See, I'm just comfortable. No. You do it because of yourself.
Gems! Woo! Alrighty, so the next one is how to use your gifts and talents, and I think we've really covered it with what you have said. In being faithful with what you've been given, and also learning to stretch yourself. Learning to sharpen your skills. If you're good at something, don't stay there. Make sure, let me tell you, in our generation we are so lucky. We have the internet. You can find anything. You do not have an excuse.
Ignorance is not an excuse, by the way.
It is not.
In this day and age.
It's not. So whatever it is that you're doing, like this year, whether if it's you're a banker, you're an accountant, you're an artist, whatever you are, make sure that you're sharpening yourself to be better. Sharpening yourself to be able to even match up with the future, because technology is just changing literally every day, and if you're not with it, you might be gifted, but because you don't even have the stamina and capacity, you're not able to get to where you're going. So please let us work, let us implement, and let us stretch ourselves.
Absolutely. And also, just don't separate and think that your work is different from what God has called you. You can still function in your workplace or wherever God has called you, and still be God's messenger in there. It doesn't have to be just a thing that you're just a Christian on Sunday. Let people know you. I absolutely hate the fact that, to be honest, Christians are known to be mediocre. I hate it.
It's horrible.
I hate that.
It's horrible.
You're the first person you're the last person to arrive at work, and you're the first person to leave. Because you're going for a prayer meeting. Really?
I love that.
No, let's like Stella said, let's be faithful. Let's sharpen our skills. Imagine, Christians do what? No. Be good at what you do. Let when people think about, I'm thinking of so and so, they won't be thinking, no, let your name be, let people think about you in good, in high esteem.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. that one is much because of our prayer meeting. That's funny. But please, I hope you're hearing in both ears, you're listening.
In case you're wondering, we are looking at notes. They're probably
just like these girls. What are they? We're looking at notes. To see pote. We are managing our time. So the other one is surrounding yourself with like-minded people.
Stay there.
Because most of the time you get distracted because of your friends. Because of friends, they're not even your friends. Because they are just people who are with you because you believe in the same thing.
Right.
If that thing, like let's say for example, you are both very passionate about the arts, and that's how you and that person met and you became friends, But now when sort of like your life went in another direction, they stopped being your friend. They were really not your friend. They were just there because you were doing the same thing. So you really need to know who your friends are. My acquaintance says you don't need them in your life, please. Acquaintances,
but not just even like-minded people, but let them be like-minded people, but people who push you.
who challenge you.
If by the your friends are not challenging you and asking you hard questions.
Yeah.
Just
if you are the smartest one in your group,
you're in the wrong group. Leave.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, not leave, but
Yeah.
Just start assessing. You need to have at least 1 or 2 people in your close circle, or in your friends, or people who you consider friends, or who speak into you, who challenge and ask you, "Baby, what are you doing? What's your purpose? How can I help you in your purpose?"
Exactly.
Not just like-minded, because you can be like-minded in the struggle.
Yeah.
You can be like-minded with your weaknesses, or you can all be like-minded and think that you're fine where you are.
Yeah.
But you need people who can equally challenge you.
Yeah. That's good. I love that.
All right.
So all those were steps to sort of like developing yourself. But now the other thing I thought is that developing yourself saves your life.
Girl,
let me tell you, ladies.
Tell us.
It saves your life.
Tell us.
Let us ingia kwanza relationships, because inside there, because that is where most of us get lost, and by the time we find ourselves, we've wasted so many years, so much time. Because like, for example, you get into a relationship, you haven't developed yourself. So first, you don't know who you are as a woman. You don't have any values. You don't have any principles. You don't even know if you stand for anything. Let's start there. And then this guy comes who he just choreas you everything. Because he's sort of worked on himself, or even if he's not, he influences you in a negative way. You start believing that you are actually this kind of a person, or this is what you're supposed to do in life. But those things did not come from yourself. They came from the dude that you are dating. And because you haven't developed yourself, you end up wasting so much time running after things because of a person. Yeah, because he loves me when I do this. What? No.
Yeah, developing yourself in the direction that they want you to go.
Yeah, and you get completely lost. By the time you find yourself, uko thari. You've lost so much time.
Somebody's daughter, somebody's son, uko thari. And you don't,
developing yourself will save you. Yeah.
Save yourself, girl.
Yeah, save yourself,
guy,
please.
Save yourself.
Save yourself.
Save yourself.
Yeah.
Save yourself and develop yourself.
Yeah. But also the other thing is that developing yourself also helps you to shape your future. Developing yourself for saving your life is during that time. But now when you're talking about the future, is that you're able to, because of what you're doing, you're able to sow seeds that will bear much fruit.
That's so good.
And sowing seeds not in places of distraction or in places that are fallen, but sowing seeds in the places that God has called you to be in.
Right. So then can you say that developing yourself saves you from distraction?
Yes.
But saves you for the future?
Yes.
Ooh. Tweet that. Okay, no, I'm joking. But that's so good.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely. And the other thing is that the word of God is everything for us, because that's what, especially for Real and Raw, that's what we believe. Is that the word of the Lord is the standard in which we make decisions based on it. It's our standard. And one of the things that I really wanted to read for you guys is 2 Timothy 2:15. It says, "Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, and who correctly handles the word of truth." So you need to present yourself to God as one approved.
Approved is not that you just don't get approved. You have to keep on working at it. You don't just get approved just like that. No. You have to work at it. Study yourself through yourself. Approved. Other versions of that scripture says that. So whatever it is that God has given you, constantly work at it, so that by the time you're even presenting it to other people, or even showcasing your fruit, people can see. It's not just a fruit where we're like, hey, in season and out of season. You're going to be like a tree whose streams are planted. That your fruit doesn't wither. It's not a thing for Ati. We can count on you sometimes we can't count on you. It's constantly work at what God has given you. in such a faithful way that even when God is looking down on you and he's saying, well done, good and faithful servant.
Yeah. I love what you've said about studying yourself. And I think very few people do that. Studying yourself first in terms of your personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, the things that you need to work on. Ukijua maybe unakuanga na kawivu. Ama you just like gossiping. You just like talking about other people, you know? Things that you really Kaudax. Unapenda Kaudax, man. Kuna venye. You need to study yourself. Yeah, are you a loyal person? You know, you need to study yourself, know yourself, know your personality. Yeah.
Call yourself to a meeting. The agenda is you.
I love it, yes.
Call yourself to a meeting and just, as she said, analyze yourself. What areas do you need to improve on? That's how you get to developing yourself. Because you also can't develop yourself from a place of not knowing what you're working with.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you need to know. When people think about even this place that we're in, when they thought about developing this building, they need to know, okay, what is it that we want to achieve, or what do we have, what raw materials do we need?
Exactly.
Then they started working with that. So same thing with you. Think about where are you starting from. Have an assessment and an honest assessment, not an assessment.
Usijipatike
me, I don't like udakus, and then kuna mtu anakwambia, hey,
wacha nikwambie. Uko hapo.
Kwa Insta story ya Edgar Barry wewe number 1. Please. That's a beer for tea.
Leave. Tea.
Just assess yourself and figure out what are you. Who are you? What is it that you're working with? What do you need to improve on? And then start from there. And there's some areas, part of developing yourself could also mean surrendering some areas of your life that could be weaknesses or strongholds in your life to God. And saying, God, I need you
here. Because
I need you here. Because
it's only you, man.
Because you just know that mimi nikisikia tu kuna ka story mimi huyo. Like just some areas you need to just hand over to God because you can't, there's nothing you can do about it. It's a struggle and a stronghold for you. So that could look like the developing for you. So but it needs you, as Stella said, to study yourself. Study yourself first.
Study yourself. The earlier you start it, the better. Because you see, your habits, after a long time, they become a part of your character. And when they become a part of your character, it becomes very hard to break them. Sit down, check yourself, and if you've already pitted the young meter, don't you call it the young parameter? It's fine, you can still start again, but you probably need to work extra hard, because when you are younger, you would have probably had the opportunity to do it much faster than now. So you probably need to work extra hard. But that doesn't mean that the opportunity to change is not there. No, it is definitely there. So like Esther said, look at your two habits. Those things that are fallen things in your life, you need to get rid of them.
And people too.
And people too.
In case.
You don't need funny people in your life, and don't be so desperate to be friends with everyone. Let me tell you, please don't do it. Don't do it. You just need a small nini who are in your corner. That's all you need.
And depending on what stage you are at your development, you can't just take everyone with you.
Exactly.
You know?
Some who have to get off the bus.
Sometimes you just have to, I mean, you have people for a certain developing phase or whatever, but man.
And the last thing, you will always develop.
Always.
You won't fika at your place at now you're at your 50.
Anyway,
No. Even that time
you'll always develop.
Develop.
It'll just look different.
Exactly. So guys, if you have any comments, if you have any thoughts, kindly ziweke hapo down below. We want to hear what you're thinking. We want to hear what you agree with. Even the things that you don't agree with, please let us know. It will make us better. It will develop us. I love it. Yes, and also, give me that book.
Oh girl.
Mimi nakwambia, mimi hoka kitabu. Please, we talked about this on the first episode. If you have not gotten this, please go run and get it.
By Stocks Class.
Yes. Please tell us what this is.
All Things New Planner. It's a missional and faith-based planner. So get yourself one. If you want one, you can order. Stella will have all the details on how you can get it in the description box. So please feel free to go and check it out, see what features it has. And let us know if you want one. We can get it to you.
Yes, and that's it. We are done. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Until next time, bye.
Bye.